This is Jellyfish, a plastic 1-pound antweight, or plant for short. It competed at Wreckage at the Rex on July 25th, 2026. Because it is a plant, it is only made out of 3D printed PLA or PETG. So the weapon, the armor, the forks, any plates, the uprights, it all has to be printed out of PLA or PETG. Even TPU is not allowed. Jellyfish uses the same electronics as Jelly Bean does. So if you want to learn more about the electronics and the exact specifics, you can check out the last 2 combat robot videos on my channel to learn more. The only difference between Jellyfish and Jelly Bean is that Jellyfish has 4-wheel drive and it has 4 motors. So there are 2 extra motors wired onto the ESC, and each ESC connector connects to 2 motors rather than just 1. Similar to Jelly Bean, Jellyfish also features a direct drive weapon. However, this weapon is bolted onto the motor rather than slipping around a collet. The chassis is a single 3D printed piece with a 3D printed lid on top, and everything on this robot, the weapon, the uprights, the chassis, the lid, and the forks are all printed out of Super PLA Plus from Overture, which worked out pretty well. Because I was underweight the night before, I quickly printed out some of these bumper pads and quickly attached them with some double-sided tape, which proved to be a bad idea. The next day, I woke up, traveled to the event, loaded in, and learned that I would be the second fight of the day, against a robot named This Way Up, a 2-wheel vertical drum/beater robot.
Alright, this match will begin in 3, 2, 1. Fight, robots, fight! Wow, This Way Up is really fast! Jellyfish slow control, gets some nice hits there. Jellyfish on its back, a great self-right though. What is This Way Up doing? Both robots are breakdancing in the corner of the arena. And both of them self-right? No, both of them self-right. And the wheel comes off of This Way Up. Is that out of the ring? Okay, that's motion. Jellyfish trying to go for a shot from the back, repositioning.
1 minute.
Halfway through the match. Next grinding hit and pin for 3. Oh, that was released.
Motion.
This Way Up, can you show motion?
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And that is a knockout. Jellyfish is your winner.
In that first fight, my opponent flipped me over multiple times before he started having drive issues and one of his wheels fell off. I was also having some issues pinning after that because of the plastic stuck on the floor, and this was one of those bumper plates I was talking about that uses double-sided tape, and the double-sided tape got stuck on the floor, and it was blocking me from properly pinning my opponent. Then, my opponent's other side drive died and he wasn't able to get himself out of the corner, so he was counted out and I got the knockout. This Way Up was able to chip my weapon quite significantly, so I had to replace it before my next fight against Tom, a horizontal spinner, and I gave this weapon disc to the driver of This Way Up as a trophy.
This match will begin in 3, 2, 1. Fight, robots, fight! Its pieces are flying off immediately. The fork got Jellyfish. And 2 forks got the Jellyfish there. Go for a great hit. And a huge hit for both robots. Both sent flying across the arena.
9, 8.
But a wheel is gone from Tom.
6.
That movement?
Yep.
Tom seems to have slowed down. He can't seem to move without the second wheel. And both wheels are gone from Tom.
And tap out. tap out.
And that's a tap out. Your winner is Jellyfish.
Tom was able to deal a lot of damage early on in the fight, ripping my forks and their mounts off from my chassis with his horizontal spinner. However, after one of the large impacts, his wheel fell off, and I was able to capitalize by lining up this clean shot here and ripping off his second wheel. He tapped out, which gave me the knockout and the win. My next opponent was Planter, a scary, four-wheeled tangent drive beater drum vertical spinner. Planter is the plant version of a robot named Fanter, which is a 1 pound full combat antweight.
We're fighting in 3, 2, 1, fight robots fight! We have some bits of armor coming off our Jellyfish. It is hung up. It's still moving, so we have to call for an unstick. It's still moving. Jellyfish is definitely still moving.
I'm stuck on something.
We're going to pause the match.
Do you want to unstick?
Yeah.
And we are going to unstick Planter.
I was taking a lot of damage early and already lost a drive side before Planter got stuck on one of my double-sided tape plastic bumpers. During this time when he was stuck, he lost one of his tangent drive shafts, so after he was unstuck, he was also down a drive side.
Fighting in 3, 2, 1, fight! There is 90 seconds left in the match. Jellyfish still lacking its left side drive. It's kind of working, seems to be working better backwards than forwards. Fans are also struggling with drive.
Get out!
And with the weapon down on Jellyfish, might struggle to maintain motion. Jellyfish definitely borderline for getting counted out here. Jellyfish, we need to see you move out of the radius. Okay, Jellyfish, that counts as motion. Jellyfish is able to crab walk. Planter, you need to move. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Your winner is Jellyfish.
After the unstick, both robots were crab walking, and a little while later, Planter shoots out his other tangent shaft and loses all drive. He gets counted out, and I get the knockout and the win. I was quite unhappy about this result, because Planter lost his first tangent shaft while he was pushing his drive when he was stuck on my piece of plastic that was stuck to his bottom plate with double-sided tape, which was entanglement, and it has been recorded in an entanglement ledger, which doesn't affect the outcome of the match. Still, this was not very good, and for the next fight I used hot glue to stick on my bumpers so that it wouldn't get stuck onto any other competitors. My next opponent was Whiteout, a vertical spinner with a very similar design to Jellyfish, only that he has 2 wheels instead of 4, which means that his forks can be rigid, and when his weapon spins up, they actually press into the ground.
We're fighting in 3, 2, 1, fight robots fight! Jellyfish will be going on its back. The robots with similar design to Jellyfish with 2 extra forks in the middle. Whiteout has been all over Jellyfish since the starting bell. Managed to tear off a piece of blue plastic. Jellyfish's weapon is still going. Using it to suck right now. Whiteout's in the position that Jellyfish was in. Smashes into the wall. And boy, both these robots just keep doing that weird kind of backflip thing. Whiteout did have little force in the center of its wide chassis, but at least one of them is 2 seconds in the pin. Release. Robots allowed to pin for up to 5 seconds in the plant category. 60 seconds remaining. Still a decent amount of momentum in Whiteout's weapon. And can he get through that bottom armor? Uh-oh, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Tap out. Your winner is Whiteout.
In this fight, I was constantly losing the ground game because of the forks that I mentioned earlier. Because Whiteout only has 2 wheels, he rigidly mounts his forks, and when his weapon spins up, the force pushes his forks down into the ground, along with the weight of his robot. Because I have 4 wheels that need to touch the ground, my forks need to dangle, and they are only held to the ground by the force of gravity on the forks, and this was allowing his forks to constantly slip under mine, and he was able to flip me over. I also was having an intermittent weapon caused by a disconnected wire on my receiver. One last hit sent my robot into the air and it landed on its front, and it was stuck doing the thing, which is where the weapon is touching the ground and can't spin up, and the wheels aren't touching the ground either, and because I was stuck and couldn't free myself, I tapped out, and Whiteout got the knockout and the win. My next opponent was Tidal Tempest, a 4-wheel drive vertical spinner based off of a plant kit called Force Knight. However, Tidal Tempest is an original design.
Alright, this match will begin in 3, 2, 1. Fight, robots, fight! Idle immediately going for the bottom plane here, pushing him around. Joto's stuck on his edge, now it's right back up, they're going left to weapon. Idle wins it again, going straight to the underside. What a juicy bit can be hit. Idle definitely with the speed advantage here. Getting the backplate repeatedly. Jellyfish was a little dead, but it doesn't stop working. That's a bid for it.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6,
You move?
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Your winner
That is a knockout. Your winner is Tidal Tempest.
So the short version of that fight was that I got absolutely destroyed. The long version was that I was completely outdriven, and Tidal's long forks were able to constantly get under me, which meant he was able to do a lot of damage. He also got around to the back of my robot, where the batteries are located, and I lost the fight because one of my batteries disconnected. Even though I have 3 battery cells, they're all wired in series, so if one battery disconnects, the circuit is open and no current flows, so the entire robot dies. Even though I lost the last 2 fights, I still managed to secure 3rd place, and I was awarded this very nice trophy, and a toolbox and some wheels courtesy of Michigan Matchup. Because there were only 14 robots competing, and the event only lasted 1 day, coupled with the fact that there were no other weight classes competing, only plants, there was really not a lot of time between fights for repairing the robot. To make matters worse, I didn't really design my robot with serviceability in mind, which made my life a lot harder, and it was extremely stressful to try and repair the robot with very low time. At this event, I realized that Jellyfish was caught in between 2 good archetypes, and ending up with nothing really beneficial from either side. You see, a wide vert, sort of like Whiteout, needs to have 2 wheels, so that his forks can be rigidly mounted and press into the floor more effectively. That's why he was able to beat me on the ground game. And a 4-wheel drive vertical spinner needs to be more like Tidal Tempest and have more of a square base for additional stability, and so it gets stuck less often. Jellyfish had 4 wheels but was sort of wide, which meant it got stuck more often, and because the forks had to dangle, I couldn't win the ground game. However, I'm still super happy with the result. It was a very fun event, and I'll probably return in November because there will probably be another plant competition around then, and I have some plans to change my design. Anyway, that is going to be the end of this video. I want to thank Joto Events and Bot Brawl for hosting a great event, and I want to thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.